KRON4.com.
And now to a story you'll see only on KRON 4. Racism in the Richmond Police Department. That is what 7 high-ranking African American officers allege in a lawsuit against the Chief of Police, Chris Magnus. That lawsuit was filed actually back in 2006. Chief Magnus is also accused of racial harassment. The suit is ongoing. However, KRON 4 has recently obtained transcripts as well as video recordings from Richmond police officers not affiliated with the lawsuit testifying under oath in this case. Here's KRON 4's Hazik Madyun.
Richmond Police Chief Chris Magnus, who you see here, is accused by these 7 African American officers of using racially charged language. Now, that's something that the chief has fervently denied. However, KRON 4 has recently obtained copies of a deposition. Now, this is sworn testimony taken as part of a racial discrimination lawsuit. And for the first time, we hear specific racist allegations against the chief from witnesses in the case.
I recall him saying, "What's Juneteenth? Is that a holiday for shooting people?"
As well as those involved in the lawsuit.
Minorities, I think it's just inappropriate to make a comment like that.
When the subject of Juneteenth, a celebration of the emancipation of African American slaves, came up during a police meeting, this is what Chief Magnus said, according to Lieutenant Mark Gagan, the chief's former secretary Sheila March, and Lieutenant Sean Pickett.
Isn't it true during that meeting, Chief Magnus said some words to the effect of, "What's Juneteenth? Is that another holiday for shooting people?"
I don't think he used the word "another." I recall him saying, "What's Juneteenth? Is that a holiday for shooting people?"
Do you remember some meeting in which it was discussed whereby Chief Magnus asked about Juneteenth?
Yes, I recall that.
There's an allegation that the chief said, "What's that, a holiday for shooting people?" Did he make that statement as a joke?
I don't recall his exact words.
Was it something to that effect?
I believe it was something to that effect, yes.
Under oath, Magnus said,
"I regret my choice of words. I was talking to a very small group of police officers about a series of holidays and events where there had been violence."
I think it was still inappropriate to even make a comment where in a city of 100,000 people where we average, anywhere from 35 to 45 homicides, and most of those victims are minorities, I think it's just inappropriate to make a comment like that.
But what if
it's insensitive?
And there are more controversial statements allegedly made by the chief on this DVD. Now, keep it locked here on KRON 4 as we will continue to look into these accusations. Hazik Madyun, KRON 4 News.
Okay, so we're live in the newsroom with Dan Kerman, who just talked to the chief's attorney. What's he saying about this, Dan?
Well, not only did we talk to the chief's attorney, but we actually played him the sound clips that were in Hazik Madyun's package. Yeah. He says this is much ado about nothing. He says basically the chief did not mean to offend anybody, and he said it's just a matter of poorly chosen words.
Let's listen.
The chief has already said that he regretted his choice of words, but he certainly meant no offense by his words.
There is no pattern of racial insensitivity on the chief's part?
No, absolutely not. This is a very progressive chief. This is an isolated incident that you've shown a clip that's taken out of context.
What is it that the chief continues to say that you think makes it sound better than simply him saying, "I regret saying this"?
Well, it's in context. He was unfamiliar with the holiday. It would be one thing if he had been familiar with it, but he was not. He's regretted his choice of words. Not one person at that meeting said they were offended at the time. This is all after the fact stuff. And again, this is being made into something more than it is.
All right, Dan. Incredible stuff. I mean, this is really explosive.
Well, and it is. And as we come through the depositions, more of that, if more comes out, the chief's attorney says he's hoping to comment on that as well.
All right, Dan. Pam?
Well, we asked the attorney representing the officers that filed the lawsuit against the chief, why make this case public now?
Well, because my clients had a trial date and they thought they'd be able to get this into the public's hands because the public needs to know. They were confident that 12 people seeing this information would, without a shadow of a doubt, agree that this department is riddled with racism and discrimination. Why now? People need to know what's going on in this department. There are more people dying on the city streets in Richmond than ever.
Well, stay with Crown 4 as we continue to investigate the allegations against the Richmond Police Department. Now let's check in with Elaine and our weather.
That's the word.